lost like the first 5 picks, and then
I can lay it out for you.
And then Sanders, he fell so far. But...
Yeah, I'm invested. I know all of the Seahawks picks at least.
Audric Estime?
No, he's not a Seahawks pick.
No,
he's
a Bronco,
he play like
right?
a long time ago?
Got your ass, dude. Just kidding. No, what was his name? Benson. No, he was from last year too. God damn it.
Who are you looking for?
The number 1 RB pick. The number 1 pick of if you have the number 1 rookie pick, who are you choosing?
This week? Or this year?
Yeah.
If I'm
in like a dynasty.
I mean,
Start.
I don't really want to tell you because when I draft them.
Well, I'll just look it up real quick.
Ashton Genty's who's
there it is. That's his name.
But that's not
Ashton
I don't know if
Genty.
I don't know if I'd pick Ashton Genty.
That's fair. You're feeling a little bit more on the Marion Hampton.
That's close. Yeah, he sounds good too. He's definitely top 2. Top 3. I think Genty, Marion Hampton, and then the guy in New England. I think it's Trayvon Hendrickson or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know who's going to be the real valuable pick, buddy?
Me?
No.
Who?
Johnson.
Johnson who? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Steelers guy.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll see. Steelers don't have a quarterback. So.
Same name. Favorite team. I think he's going to be the best running back in the league.
I don't know about the best in the league, but
in the league, he'll be number 1 RB next year.
Yeah, he'll be Saquon.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it looks like we're kind of just starting off with football, so might as well keep that train rolling.
That's true. Let's start with football today. That seems
fun. Let's see. So we're talking about running backs. You got Hampton, Johnson. What is the guy's name? Are you looking at it? Did you look at it from New England?
Hey, everybody. Welcome in. It's High Country Hangouts episode number 25, and we're going to go ahead and start this one off with a little bit of NFL draft talk because the 2025 NFL draft just wrapped up. So, yeah, we're looking at running backs right now. We were talking a little bit about Ashton Genty. How do you feel about him, Skyler?
I mean, he's really good. He crushed it in the college football realm.
Do you like where he landed? Do you like the Raiders spot?
Yes, because they'll run the football. Because Pete loves to run the football.
Yep. Good old Pete fan.
And Gino is good at play action, so they'll do a lot of play action. I don't know how their offensive line is, so I'm not 100% sure how good they will be running the football this year, but next year may be better. But yeah, we'll see how good he is, man. He might be a special running back. I don't know. I think there's some other running backs you can get in the draft or in your fantasy draft that'll be a little bit more productive and better.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just realizing this now as you're talking, but you kind of like have to be a tiny bit of a Raiders fan now because we got Pete Carroll as the head coach, and then we also got Gino, who came from the Seattle Seahawks. So it's kind of like a Mod Podge mix
Seahawks,
of
AFC.
old Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Pete. Gino's fine. I definitely have been an advocate of him being better than people think he is. But also I think he's kind of a pain in the butt to work with maybe for the Seahawks. But at the same time, he wanted more money and good for him. He got it. So, and a better deal. So the football player, and the person, dope, good for him. But as a Seahawks fan, I'm kind of glad he's gone.
That's fair. He is kind of old too, so I feel like maybe people thought he was on his way out, but I don't know. He might bring the Raiders to some kind of exciting.
I think he has 2 more good years, maybe 3, 2 for sure. Solid, productive football years.
Yeah.
And that's, honestly, that's what Pete's trying to do. That's what the Raiders are trying to do. That's what Tom Brady wants Pete to do. He wants him to take this ship that's sinking and just steady it, just kind of
Yeah.
keep a good flow, and then by the time Pete retires in 3 to 5 years, or they fire him because they'll find a younger coach, unless they win the
Yep.
Super Bowl or something like that crazy, but I doubt it. Um, they'll hire a new coach and try to get a quarterback, a nice, a young quarterback that can learn behind Geno.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just kind of staying on that same Raiders line. How do you feel about Jack Beck?
I think the story is really cool. We talked about a
Besh.
little.
Is it? It's Besh, right?
It might be Bash. I don't know. We talked a little bit about it the other day.
Yeah.
Pretty sad situation, but good for him. I imagine he'll be a productive NFL player. I don't know about fantasy player, but like an NFL player, I think he'll be productive. Special teams, third downs, all them white guys got to be playing third downs. So,
Cool. Let's take a little bit of a hot take. What yards do you see him at the end of this season, Jack Besh?
oh man, 600, 500. And
So let's say 550 for you, right in the middle.
let's say, what round did he get taken in?
I think he got taken in the second, number 58. So
Okay.
yeah, round
So,
two. Yeah,
all right, let's say 58 catches, 752 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Let's say 6 touchdowns.
58, 58. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. 752, you said?
Yeah. We'll throw that in there.
All right, I'm
And a half.
going. I'm going 850. I
All
think he's
right.
gonna do a little bit better, but
Cool.
we'll see.
The only reason why I don't, who knows? Because they don't have they have one good receiver on their team. Oh, I guess they have the tight end too, Bowers.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
got Bowers.
I mean, there's skill players are a lot better this year than they were last year. So Bowers, I could see going off.
I could too. I think Bowers is gonna be
I mean, he
money
already
this
went
year.
off with
Yeah.
a kind of bad quarterback. So
hmm If
yeah.
you had to, if you had to say, Gino had a better wide receiving core last year with the Seahawks or this year with the Raiders, what would you say?
Oh, Seahawks, no doubt. You got
Yeah.
JSN, DK, Tyler Lockett, Noah Fant. Yeah, but um, this year it's definitely not. It's not as good, but there can be like I'd say the wide receivers aren't as good. The tight end's better. The running back is more consistent, assuming because the Seattle Seahawks have had a lot of running back health issues with Kenneth Walker. So
I'm interested to see how Kenneth's year is going to be.
I think they're going to have an open competition, and I think Charbonnet maybe beats him out.
Sharp was so good last season when he was out, so I see
Yeah.
it.
I hope. I mean, I really like Kenneth Walker. He's so talented, and if he can play up to his potential and stay healthy, then he's the best running back on the team. But if he can't, and the best ability is availability, so put a new running back in and let's go.
Yeah, that's a great perspective, because people don't really look at the longevity and the injury, and Kenneth, he's the most talented by far, absolutely. But at the end of the day, when you're hurt half the time, or if Charbonnet can just, he's like a Najee Harris where he just keeps going, he just pushes through. It seems like so.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to have at least two running backs every year, because no matter what, they get nicked up a little bit. If he misses a game or two, that's fair, but you got to stay consistent for like at least, you got to be available for at least 14 games out of the season, 15 games. So, and he's
yeah,
not. He has the potential of a Saquon type of year, but and hopefully Seattle just drafted an offensive lineman in the first round, Gray Zabel from North Dakota State University. Let's
yeah,
go. So hopefully that adds to some continuity on the team, and then they have their right tackle back fully healthy, and if they have a better offensive line, who knows?
yeah. Nice, man. Well, I feel like you can get a little bit excited for your team and
Oh,
the
I'm
season.
stoked. I'm stoked. They got their
Um,
draft class was awesome, man. They had the good guard. They drafted the safety Nick Imanwari from I think South Carolina, who has the measurables of DK Metcalf, but at safety runs as fast as him. And then they drafted this tight end, and he
if people
is
don't know, man, I don't know. People probably don't know, but DK is an absolute beast, man. He's like
six
the
three, two
most.
thirty five, runs a four
Yep.
three 40.
He's like the most physically dominant kind of person that you would want as a wide receiver. So
He's a
just
Steeler now.
com- exactly. And we're gonna do some magic, baby.
Yeah, with Will Howard or Aaron Rodgers.
Not Will.
Yeah. And then Seattle just drafted a quarterback too, Jalen Milroe, who I've like watched some videos on people that said his running ability, and I don't buy this, but his running ability, they've said it's in the college is better than Lamar Jackson's and Michael Vick's, and I don't quite buy it. I think he's on that level, like he's around that level, but I mean to say you're better than Lamar Jackson is kind of crazy.
Yep.
Um, and he has a good arm. It's just he doesn't have great anticipation, from what I understand, and great, intermediate passing. So hopefully, he sits a year behind Sam Darnold, and then next year he supplants him as the quarterback. And then look at that, we got Ravens West out in Seattle.
Yeah, that could be a thing unless Sam Darnold is actually truly what he thinks he is, you know?
I think that'd be awesome. I would rather have Lamar Light than Sam Darnold, unless Sam Darnold is completely gangster. I mean, to have that like running ability of Lamar Jackson on your team, it's just so fun.
Yeah.
It's so cool
Yep.
to watch, and like it puts so much stress on the defense. And for fantasy football, I would love to have a quarterback again that's actually good. I mean, Russell never really
Yeah.
delivered, so
Yeah, I hear that, buddy.
yeah.
Um, Sam Darnold to me reminds me of like he reminds me of I just had his name, the Bengals quarterback. Why am
Joe
I drawing
Burrow.
a blank? Joe Burrow light.
That's actually a pretty solid comparison. I really like that. That
Nice. Yeah.
Joe Burrow's on another level of all the quarterbacks. So if Sam Darnold could even like get to 80% of that, 90, that would be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, since we're on the quarterback train, we got to touch on Sanders because he was in Colorado for a while and he had a lot of draft hype coming into the draft, and I think he ended up being one of the biggest NFL falls in the draft in like the last decade. So it's kind of
Um,
interesting.
yeah, man. I've been reading some stories online and some videos that like he was kind of just going into meetings and being ignorant towards coaches and stuff like that in the draft process, and he fell off the board. And I was listening to the podcaster, and he had said that like the owner probably made them pick him. The Browns made them pick him because that team they drafted the Gabriel guy a couple
Hmm.
rounds earlier. So who knows, man? He really screwed it up. I was listening to Seattle sports this morning, and what did Brock say? He said, from what he heard and from a source that he had, that he Shador wasn't even heeding the advice of his dad Dion. So sounds like that guy needs to grow up a little bit. And yeah,
Amen, brother. We don't really respect NFL players who don't have the maturity to be in the NFL because there's a lot of players who have the skill, but they're just not quite there on the maturity side. And people don't realize the amount of effort and like the the type of person that you have to be a professional NFL player because it's not just somebody who's good at catching the football. It's also being resilient when it comes to criticism. It comes to being even-minded and controlling your emotions, and it's just a lot more than being good at football. So you kind of see that come back on some of these players, especially when they're really young, because the immaturity just shines through pretty
yeah.
heavy. So,
I mean, look at Baker Mayfield. A lot of people did not really care for him in his early career, but now he's top 10 quarterback in the league, and he's starring for the Bucks right now. And I read a quote from the Bucks that from their GM, and he said, "We usually don't miss, we don't miss on the football player, we miss on the person."
yep, exactly. And there's some teams that are good about even if they have a bad person, they can kind of work with it. And there's other teams that if it just doesn't work, and it's just hard to manage somebody who doesn't want to be a team player. So
Yeah, yeah, man. I think I think we hit a lot on it. Did you pay attention to any more of the draft for the Steelers?
a little bit. I mean, I really enjoy their running back pick, Johnson. I think he's gonna be behind Warren for a little bit, and I have confidence in Warren. I think it's gonna be kind of like a split, and then I think Johnson could easily just become the bell
He'll be the bell
cow. And
cow for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. Oh man, they got
Maybe a
Seattle got a player. I think his name's Horton. I don't know if he played at. He did not play for Colorado. He played for Colorado State. Isn't that Fort Collins?
call it CSU. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Fort Collins.
And man, I guess from what I understand, he's a stud. So I'm excited to have him on the team.
Do you know what round he was drafted in? I missed that.
Well, he had an ACL injury, so he slid. He fell to like the fifth round.
Oh, okay.
Um, but he would have probably been like a late second, high three if he would have been healthy. And
Okay.
he still ran a 4.4 something, 4.41, 4.42. So he still has a lot of speed even when he's coming back. So I'm excited for him to be a Seahawk.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It sounds like a lot of teams went with protection and kind of
It was
I
a
don't
meat
know.
and potatoes draft from that's like the phrase that a lot of people are saying.
Okay, yeah, meat and potatoes. But just kind of touching back on the Steelers, the first round they drafted a defensive tackle, Derek Harmon. So I mean, I think he's going to be awesome on the defense, but at the same time, I watch football to watch the offensive plays, so it's not as exciting as it could have been. But um, then they had that third round, Caleb Johnson, that's his first name. So he's a running back out of Iowa, and I have high hopes for him.
Yeah. Man, Harmon, I don't know, man. I love defense. I'm so stoked. Seattle, the safety they got, I'm so excited to see what Mike McDonald can do with him. And I love watching defense because I just like I've been a fan since like '02 of like
Hmm.
since I could really watch football, right, and be like pay attention to it and
Yeah.
understand. Um, but since the Legion of Boom days when they became like really popular and good, all about defense, and I love defense, man. Let's go lay someone out.
Yeah,
Cam
that's fair.
Chancellor was my favorite, brother. Oh, what a
Defense
great,
wins games, dude. I mean, it really does
they
sometimes. So
definitely do. Yeah, but yeah, man. Let's move on. Let's head over to the plan of the week.
sounds good, dude. If you guys have any other draft requests or football combos, let us know. Always like talking about it. So, um, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and migrate on over into the plant of the week. It's been a couple weeks because we've been having some technical difficulties, but this week we're gonna go ahead and talk about beetroot, or as a lot of people know it, just beets. So. The beetroot is also known as Beta vulgaris, which is the scientific name for it. And it can either be an annual or a biannual, and it can grow in zones 2 through 10. So pretty much anywhere can have beets depending on the season. In warmer climates, you're going to grow them in the wintertime, and then in colder climates, you're going to grow them in the spring and summer, and it works pretty well both ways. Um, One thing I thought that was kind of interesting is that if you've seen a beet, you've seen the red color that is associated with it, and that red color is due to the presence of beta cyanin and beta xanthan. So there's a couple different weird chemicals in there that really make it that red, and I just thought that was kind of interesting. Um, as far as growing the beets, they're going to be thriving in cooler weather with good moisture. Um, they do like full sun, although if you do grow them in the summertime when there's really long days, they might require some afternoon shade. So sometimes it's nice to plant them in a west facing area because the sun sets and they get shaded in the day and then or shaded in the morning and kind of sun in the afternoon, or you can do vice versa where they get sun in the morning, shaded in the afternoon. Um, Some of the history about beets, they're very old. They were domesticated in ancient Middle East, or in the ancient Middle East, and they were grown by the ancient Egyptians, the Roman era, and the Greeks. So it was kind of interesting. And they
I
were
wonder,
originally,
I wonder what's changed since then. So like,
oh, me too, every
like
day.
how we right, but like how we have all of these ways and like knowledge on growing and that now, and I wonder if how the beat has changed since then. I wonder like what has happened. Like what growth and it like yeah. What I'm just so curious.
No, that makes sense because it was almost a different plant. when it first began being grown, because in the beginning it was grown for its foliage or like the leaves. They would harvest the leaves and eat them, and then eventually they realized that the root was a lot. There was a lot more to the root, and they started growing them for both the root and the leaves. So maybe in the beginning there wasn't that big of a root, and they were just kind of like, stuck with harvesting the leaves, and then over time the beet kind of adjusted and developed these bigger roots, or, the hypothesis is probably endless. So,
Yeah, it's so cool.
um, so back in the day, beetroot was used to treat various conditions, especially illnesses involving the gut or blood. Um, And then during the 17th century, it was also used to color wine. So wine would be colored red with beet juice, which I don't know why they would color it red if the grapes would kind of make it red in the beginning, but maybe it was just to add extra nutrients, or also maybe the white wine was colored red. Who knows? Um, Something I thought that was interesting is during World War One, food shortages in Europe resulted in people eating a large amount of beets. And so if you eat too many beets, you'll get Mangelwurzel, which is basically it's just your body is too much of the nutrients, or the stuff that's inside beets has too much of it. So it's like a sickness that if you eat too many beets, that's what's going to happen. Um, Yeah, let's see. We'll move in. So just along those lines of men Mangelwurzel. Such a weird word. I've never heard of it, but there's digestive discomfort associated with it, as well as kidney stones. And then something that people don't really associate with beets, but if you eat a lot of them, you kind of got to be aware of, is that it will change your urine and your poop to a darker color. So if you eat too many beets, don't be scared if you have black stool or red urine. All right, let's move into a few of the health benefits of beets. They're a good source of fiber. They're a good source of vitamin B9, also known as folate. And they also have antioxidants in them to help repair DNA and maintain cell health. So they're good for your body. They're really good for your blood and um, your digestive system because of all the fiber, but you just don't eat too many. Start slow. Um, in addition, the health benefits of beets have been known to lower blood pressure. They also increase exercise performance, which I thought was interesting because they increase the oxygen uptake, which allows oxygen or which allows your body to stay active longer, because if you have more oxygen in your cells, it's basically allowing you to produce more energy for a longer amount of time. Um, they have digestive health because of the high fiber, and they also may have anti-inflammatory properties. So people with IBS often or will try to incorporate beets in their diet to kind of help with their bowels and the inflammation. And that's about all I got on beets. So I'm gonna grow some myself. I've done a lot of pickling of beets. I've done raw beet salads. So anything beet wise, I enjoy beets.
Heck yeah, I'm trying to grow some too. We'll see. Some of my plants my have died, so
That's fair.
yeah,
Everybody has plants that die. It's just kind of the name of the game. But
yeah,
as you grow more, you learn a little every time. So
yeah.
that's what's
To
up.
me, I don't know if I honestly I didn't label them foolishly, so I don't know which ones died. It could have been the tomatoes or the peppers. I don't know, but we'll see.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm excited though.
I can tell the plants apart pretty easily just based on their leaves, but I get the varieties mixed up because I do the same thing where I'll bring home like four different peppers and I'll plant them, but I don't have any tags for them. So then you just grow until you get fruit, and then you kind of figure it out.
So about when should I start transplanting them to pots?
Probably no.
Really.
D- do you just have them in like a
A starter kit, essentially.
yeah, and they're already have they produced a second set of leaves?
Yeah, I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture.
I bet they're about ready now because I'll show you I'll send you a couple pictures of what I have because
Cool.
I just put some plants that are really small in pots to kind of beef them up before I put them outside and
Nice.
they're pretty small.
What did you
So
think of that chest?
that looks good, man.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
I think it's
stoked.
going to be really good. Are you going to put drainage holes in the bottom? I can't remember.
I mean, if you think I should, I will.
I just worry that maybe it would, if you overwater, it's going to have a hard time drying out.
Yeah, yeah. Um, do you think I should put any plastic in it, or just throw the soil in as is?
If you put plastic in it, then you probably wouldn't put drainage holes, and then you could just kind of be really temperament on water until it gets a root system. Because once the root's established, then you'll be able to water it and they'll drink it up. But if you soak them too much, the roots won't be able to grow, and then you'll just end up with kind of like a wet bottom chest, which that's not what you want.
It's also a lot colder here than it is in Fort Collins, so I think
Yeah.
I might wait a little bit longer than it's still raining and snowing and hailing and
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna put the chest outside permanently? Like once you put it out there, it's staying out there?
that was what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't want to move it. There's gonna be soil in
Yeah.
it. And, yeah,
Yeah, I would wait until I would look at your weather, and once your weather's
usually June is when it's like
35, at the in the evenings at night, if it's 35 or higher, I would say you could put it outside. And then if you have a night that dropped down to like 32 or 30, or you could just put a blanket over it, and that would kind of insulate it enough for the night to kind of
yeah.
protect it.
And what were you saying? Tomatoes and peppers on pots, and then put the beets and stuff and lettuce in the.
Definitely peppers in pots. And tomatoes you can do in pots too. If you have room in the chest, the tomatoes would love the chest, but they just get so big that it would take up the whole thing probably.
Yeah, cool. Heck yeah.
Because you're gonna need a cage, a tomato cage.
Yeah, I should buy one. And then also I need to buy something for the deer and the moose.
Yeah, because I've tried doing tomatoes without cages before, and even if you have sticks and you just try and prop them up, it's like every time by the end of the summer, your plant is suffering because it doesn't have the support and it has too much weight with the fruit and it doesn't work. So it's always good to get a cage.
Yeah. Something I was thinking about earlier. What timeline would you go to if you had a time machine?
I've thought about that too. It's really hard for me not to just say the ancient Egypt.
Yeah. Why is that?
Yeah, I think I'd just choose Egypt. Mostly just because it's so mysterious, like we don't really understand how they built the pyramids and we don't really it's like they seem like they had a very sophisticated society back in the day, but then at the same time it was a different kind of sophistication. It wasn't like, oh, we have iPhones, it's like, oh, we can predict comets from the sky. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
And how'd they get those big ass blocks on big ass blocks,
Yeah, everyone's like slaves. I'm like, no, dude, that doesn't explain it.
Yeah. I think I'd go. I like that one just to change it up because I do that one too. I think I'd go back to like the 1850s, 60s, 1700s just to see how all the bison are, where it would be in Yellowstone, just to see all the millions of them. Because I've always just thought how crazy it'd be to drive down Lamar Valley in Yellowstone and just see, like, not be able to like move at all because there are just bison everywhere. I think that'd be kind of cool to see.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
But it'd also be cool. What if you just rewound even farther and instead of bison, you're looking at woolly mammoths, buddy?
Oh, we'll be looking at woolly mammoths soon. They're on their way, brother. They're on their way
That's
back.
crazy, huh?
Yeah, we got woolly mice. We got dire wolves. We like, it's all coming back.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, they've got this kind of company slash program going where they're able to take DNA from species that are extinct and they're found in the ice kind of thing, and they're able to basically create a replica of their genome and then create the creature that was alive back in the day as like a clone almost. So
So
it's
cool.
It's been pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's transition. We'll go to photo of the week. I'll put some photos up. I recently took some photos for Big Sky bonus tracks. We're dropping our clothing finally, our new merch. We got some
Heck yeah.
snapback hats. We got some T-shirts, stickers, and so these pictures are just studio style. And then there's a couple with Moose. Um, and yeah, so there's really not much to say. I just took the pictures up in my extra room that's set up like a studio, and um, yeah, I mean, quick, fast, got the lighting. I didn't spend a crazy amount of time on it. We're just trying to get it ready, get it out there. We've been hanging on to them for a while now, so we're ready to release, and hopefully some people will go buy them.
Heck yeah, dude. Did you make the logo or?
We did not. So the Moose logo came from a local guy. His name is Paul Atsu. He owns Headwater Studio, and he sponsored us the last couple of years for Big Sky bonus tracks, and he's just been fantastic to work with. A really great guy, great community member, and he just is really creative. And I think the Moose logo is pretty sick. It's a moose with um, uh, uh, earbuds essentially on his,
Headphones,
yeah,
yeah.
headphones on, and some tunes. And then we have an old school logo that was made essentially, I think, out of like some PNG online that we had, like, were granted access to use or something like that. So
That's the
um,
bear.
no, the bear he made too.
Oh, okay.
He made the bear and the
Oh, the
moose.
PNG is the mountains
Yeah,
with
yep,
the square kind of. Okay,
yep,
cool.
yep. Yeah,
Nice,
pretty
dude.
sweet. I dig that logo, so I'm glad we're able to make some sweet merch from it.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And you got it launched, so
Yeah,
we'll I'll be trying to support for sure, man.
yeah, man. I'll put the links below, and we can also, when we share out some reels, we can tag the link to it.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah,
good.
but I think that's about all. I mean, I don't really have much to say. There's not much going on with that, so I'll have some more photos the next time we meet.
You guys been doing some recordings or?
Yeah, we filmed a guy named Mars Daniels. He is out of eastern Montana, northeastern Montana, Plentywood area near Canada, on the Canada border.
Nice.
He is country esque. If you listen to his music on Spotify or whatever platform you use, you'll kind of hear a Post Malone type of vibe.
Hmm.
He apparently, he told us he was kind of like a production assistant essentially for Diplo and some other artists out in LA, which I thought was pretty dope. He had some great things to say about Diplo, so that was cool.
Yeah, that
Um,
guy's pretty crazy. He's pretty awesome though.
oh man, yeah, dude, he lives a cool life, man. Yeah,
He just does whatever he wants to do every day, dude.
yep, yep. Yeah, so that was really cool. And then we have some others coming up in the next couple months, and then we have some more bands. We have one band in the next month, I think, and then we're trying to schedule the rest of them for fall because it's a lot more work, and so do it at the tail end of summer instead of the beginning of summer. But we have some singer songwriters, and yeah, really excited.
Heck yeah, man, that sounds awesome. I'll be keeping my eyes out for some new recordings. I'll have to go check that guy out. I haven't listened to the newest uh video you put up yet, so.
That one hasn't dropped yet, so that one will drop sometime, I think, in July. That's what we're planning.
Oh, word,
Um,
okay.
Yeah, and the one we just released was a guy out of Nashville, and then we released a gal from Nashville as well. They're originally not originally from there, but Jess DeCoy,
Hmm.
Eric Stuckey, they're great. And then we have another one coming out. I'm not sure when we'll get this out in the next couple of days. So on Friday next week of Satsang or Satsung, he he has a band as well, but he's out of Billings and pretty. He's a really regionally known pretty well. He has definitely has his listening. Sorry, I think someone just pulled up. He definitely has a well renowned, not well renowned. He's a lot of fans essentially. So yeah,
So, when you say sad song, what is that?
um, the dogs are gonna start barking. Satsung is
Is it
a
a festival or
he's a
because it's also.
he's a group. So if you go to
Oh, okay, okay.
satsungmovement.com, it shows him and
Okay.
his band. It's also Sat Sats
Little excited pooch. He says, "Who's at my home?"
Um, Satsung, he was also our first session we released, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I
Nice.
think the dogs are going a little
I think they're giving us our cue, buddy. It's our
All right,
time.
I think that's us. I think we'll catch up next week, man. I appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.
Hell yeah, guys. Have a good week, and we'll catch you on the next episode. So, peace.